Oh, conta. Let's fool around with some famous buildings. Today we're gonna be talking about the Heilige Saint. I'm just gonna call this the Peutz Church. It's the Peutz Church. Anyway, what's up, man? How you doing? Located near Heerlen Woon Boulevard, this is also one of the church I had to stress over this semester, so why not make a video out of it? Like I said, this church was designed by Frits Peutz. He's a famous architect in the Limburg region in the Netherlands, and he even has lectures in his name, Peutz-lezingen. By the way, since I schedule out my videos, one joke in a future video, a little foreshadowing, is going to say something about my first Dutch architect. Dutch architect Rem Koolhaas. I'm just realizing I'm living in Netherlands and this is the first Dutch architect I'm making a video out of. I should make more videos on Dutch architects. Note to self. Yeah, I plan out my videos in advance, so that's not gonna make sense anymore. Anyway, just doing a little housekeeping. Back to the video. So yeah, we started off by going to the site and taking measurements of the existing church. And then I went back and made a drone scan of the building so I can 3D model it. And then we visited the archives in Heerlen to look at the drawings that Peutz made in the year of 1929 for the permit drawings. And also we found that he also delivered drawings for a revision for the front of the church in the year 1962. But these revisions were never executed, probably for financial reasons, seeing as in Heerlen at that time the mines were closing and it was not the best economic times for Heerlen. So after taking the measurements of the building and using the drone scan, we compared the differences between the permit drawing and what was actually built. So very quickly, in the initial design, Peutz had a plane that sloped up to the front of the church. There was also a column in the entrance that was removed, that wasn't executed. There was an opening on the side to the other building. The columns at the skip of the church, they were reduced in size. At the back part of the church, the entrance was moved to the side for symmetry reasons. Also in the church, the stairs were moved to the left side, so for better flow of movement for the people visiting the church. Okay, so let's talk about the church entrance, because it's the most interesting part about this church, besides the interior. And we're gonna get into the brickwork, because I had to spend months drawing this brick by brick. Anyway, so I'm gonna be using the Dutch terminologies because the curse of being multilingual. Anyway, refer to this, you can pause the video, refer to this for the following things I'm going to be saying.
So the brick pattern that was used at this church was Vlaamsverband. Basically the rule for Vlaamsverband is the first row you start with a kop, strek, and so forth, and you end with a kop at the end. And the second row would be a drieklezor, kop, strek, and you would end with a drieklezor at the end. You want to keep the ends symmetrically. Also at the openings, you also want to keep it symmetrical. So if you start an opening with a kop, to the other side of the openings, let's say windows or doors, you want to have a kop on the other side, and you're going to have a broken brick pattern in the middle of the window or the door, just to keep things symmetrically. That's pretty much it. It's almost the same as Flemish bond, which is English. Flemish bond, you start with a kop, glazor, strek, kop, strek, and you want to keep it, again, the same thing, symmetrical at the end. And the second row would be strek, kop, strek. That's the difference between Flemish bond and Vlaamsverband. Don't know the English name for this, but they're technically the same thing.
And you also have boerenvlechten, which are these triangles to finish off the roof line. Anyway, we did get a cool drawing out of my suffering, so yay! Anyway, some interesting things about the front facade. Because of that half a proportion, you have a weird feeling when you look at the front of this church. Because of this, the entrance feels like it's more to the right and it's not centered to the skip of the church, but it actually is. The reason why Peutz decided to do this is still unknown, the dude is dead, so he probably had his reasons. There's a statue right here. The statue is not originally for the church, so it wasn't drafted in our drawings. It was meant for another building. But funnily enough, I think they planned this, that they placed the statue right here. Kinda makes sense. And also, we realized that the focal points for the front of the church is the carving of Jesus with the vier levende wezens on top of the entrance and also in the window. Interesting thing about this is that the window was installed years later. So we realized this because there was a discrepancy in the order of the living beings portrayed. And as a designer, you would probably plan out the order a little more efficiently. So we did a deep dive into this and we found out that it was done by two different artists. They didn't communicate how they would deliver the end product, basically. Yeah, this church is very interesting because Peutz was an engineer, and what makes this church interesting is most churches are built with only bricks, but Peutz decided to use concrete and also steel because Heerlen is a mining town and it's to prevent structural problems with the church due to sinking of the mines. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope I gave you guys an appreciation for Peutz's church, and thank you for watching. Till next time.